What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Bergmann. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel overall. We have 66 days and 22 hours left to go until the great release of Farming Simulator 25. I have to say, when I fired this map up, I'm starting to really lose the motivation for FS22. Seeing more and more FS25 gameplay, just remember when we were impressed with Farm Sim 22? Do you remember? And then I see FS22 gameplay, I see FS22 stills, I see the reflections off the paint of vehicles in 25, and I just say, yeah, 22 doesn't hold a candle to it at all. And then today, let's lead off with today's news. Giants drops an X post, a Twitter post, where seemingly out of the blue, they announced that we're going to be able to grow mushrooms, red chili peppers, and green onions, leeks. Most likely in greenhouses because, well, all 25 crops are now known. Because we now have official, unofficial confirmation of peas and green beans. So that rounds out to 25 crops, which just logically means that we must be getting the other things that Giants X'd about today as greenhouse crops. Right, so here we are. Hickory Brook Farm, established 1908, fresh produce. We've got green onions, we got tomatoes, looks like strawberries. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those were cherries, but at any rate. Carrots, spinach, that looks like leaves of spinach, strawberries, and I don't know what that is. Maybe more green onions. But look, we got carrots, grapes, parsnips, spinach, red hot chili peppers, not the band, strawberries, tomatoes, mushrooms, and green onions. Leaks abound with respect to Farming Simulator 25, a small farmer's kiosk. And we've seen this actually in another image. Right here, FarmCon image. Here is the empty kiosk. You can see there we have the little glowing icon in the back, the dump point trigger. You see a different shot of it right here with the tractor mailbox that I like looking at. And, well, just for funsies. What do you think this? What's this? Just for funsies. I was playing with AI a couple weeks ago, and I asked AI to generate me a map, an overview map, an aerial map of an East Asian map. And this is what I got. So here you go. First ever leak. Here's the PDA for the East Asian map. According to AI, that's what it's going to look like. That's what she's going to look like. I also asked it to do a couple others. So there's another variant. Or here's a small map, a mini map. Or an even smaller map. Yeah, all of these were show me an East Asian farming map from above, aerial view, using AI, the latest in technology. All right, just wanted to share that with you. head over to your favorite AI image generator and give it some prompts. Yeah, I like the farm stand too. Yet to be established if it will have limitations like the farm production pack little farm stands where they only accept a certain amount of product per given day. I think that would be a nice add-on. So you can't deliver, you know, 20,000 liters of strawberries to a little farm stand that would have no chance of ever selling that much, right? Right now, we only accept 1,000 liters of strawberries, 500 liters of chili peppers, you know, little bits of mushrooms, shroomage. I would like to see that. I think others wouldn't, right? But the idea of having some greenhouses, having some gardens on your farm, and then basically putting up a little stand at the roadside and just delivering your produce to the farm stand up by the road. Well, it's a lot like this map, quite frankly, where we have... Where are we even at? Where is this? Oh. Don't know where I want to be. It's like we have here at the farm, right? Where we have this farm sale place. And we can deliver a product. Like these strawberries. And I think what we're going to learn, or what we've already learned, is that they will sell over time. Right? See, and they pop in there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. All right, let's head back here. What happened to my music? There we go. Man, I had music in my ear and then went silent. Well, Desert Ox, we do have. Let me pull this back up. Oh, did I close it? Heck, damn it. Closed it. All right. Hold your horses. It only takes me a minute or two to get someplace. We have this place. Right? We have this. This is a farmer's market. And this is going to be on the map. Tomato Festival, Sunday the 21st. Nice. Because it's good. Okay, any rate, we have the farmer's market. And inside, look, it's empty, right? So just like the cart that we saw, the farmer's market's going to be empty until you deliver goods. And then it's going to pop up. Right? And then we have, of course, this is going to be a different station. And we learned, this is the farmer's market. That's the farmer's market building without the signage. Right? We've seen this a few different times recently. Remember, it had the carriage there. It had the sunflower bale. There's a silo off here in the distance. It's got sunflowers on it. This had flowers in it, which made me think that we could grow flowers and sell flowers. Maybe we can. We don't know about that yet. Right? We don't know about everything yet. GH Productions, what is up? What is up? Yeah, I like Giants' motive and movement to a bit more reality. In 25, I feel like they're moving and adding some realism aspects to 25. Not super hardcore realism, but just adding enough to make it feel good, right? As I said during the FarmCon presentation, it's all about how you feel when you're on the map. They don't build maps to be identical replicas to real life places. They build maps to elicit emotion. And that really resonated with me because I've said before, right? When people are like, well, what maps do you like? And I go, I have to be on it. And I have to it just has to feel right. Right? I can't really describe what feels right and what doesn't feel right until I experience it and go, this feels right. So 66 days, we're all going to be able to experience it. Super excited to give you the opportunity, hopefully, to show it off to you guys a little early. Never assume, but hope, right? It is so complicated, right? Now, I was saying in another comment there are aspects of Terra Life that I like very much. There are aspects of Terra Life I could live without very much. And it would be super awesome if I could turn on and off certain things. Right? If they took kind of the farm sim Giants approach of, well, I don't really want to have to feed my animals complex feed. I just want to keep with my standard FS22 animal food requirements. But I kind of do want the different types of animals. And I kind of do want the several different growth stages for the crops. And I'm kind of fine. I'm kind of fine with a game year being 48 weeks versus 12 months. I mean, hell, in Farm Sim 19 and when at Farm Sim 17, I played a 24-day season. So 24 times 4, right? That's 96. So I played a 96-day game year and played multiple years just to prove that you could do it and be profitable and not run out of money. So, been there, done that. Wouldn't have too big of a deal with 48 day year. Now, it'll probably be better once the documentation is out and people can read it and understand it. Anyone that has messed with Maze Plus doesn't have to learn all of it at the same time, because Terra Life is kind of Maze Plus Plus. Dare I use some programming language comparisons, but it's Maze Plus Plus, so it's Maze Plus plus more. And if you've never done Maze Plus before, then it's a whole lot. It's massive. If you're familiar with Maze Plus, then it's just additive. But it's not for everyone. It's not for me. I'm not going to diss it. It's just not for me. But what I do really not like at all is that it has to be built in the map. So if you like Terra Life Plus and you want to use it, right now you're limited to 4 maps. At some point, documentation will probably come out on how to add it to a map. And those that are competent can add it to a map and play it on a map that they want to add it to. Can it be stripped out of a map? That is a different question. And we probably won't know until we get documentation. But it probably replaces certain files, and you'd have to come up with those files from somewhere else and put them back into the map. So I really wish the 2 maps that came out that weren't previously released with Terra Life Plus would come out non-Terra Life Plus versions, just so people that like the map could play it without having to be forced into playing it with all the other stuff. And that's one of the big gripes I had with Maze Plus in 19. In 19, I'm pretty confident it required it to be built into the map. And it meant if you wanted to play the map, you had to play it with Maze Plus. And if you wanted to play with Maze Plus, you had to play it on a map built in with it. Where the latter, if you were competent, you could probably add it, but it probably couldn't be stripped out. In 22, it became fully modular. Just activate the mod and off to the races you go. Maybe that's not possible with Terra Life Plus because of all the things it changes. I don't know. I'm not a modder. I'm not a scripter in any way. Just my 2 cents. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. Bale Spring, is Bale Spring back? Is that the island map? Is that the island map with the ferry? Or is that different? Oh, some serious work definitely went into it. For sure. And it sounds like they're going to continue that project into FS25, right? So hopefully it'll drop sooner than later with respect to FS25, right? Because the core of it is written, and it really just comes down to how much has changed between 25 and 22. And we probably won't know until we get the game and can try and see how our console commands have changed, right? Does GS HUD visibility, does that still turn off the HUD and turn it back on, right? They changed console commands from 19 to 22. That wasn't the same console command in 19. I don't even remember what the command was in 19. But it'll be one of the first things that I mess with is trying to figure out what are the console commands that I need to do in order to do various map testing and other things. How do I enable the dev console? That should be pretty straightforward. That'll likely be video number 1 again. That was my very first video for FS19 that I pushed out, was how do you enable the dev console. Well, Paul, I don't know. I don't know that information. Like I said, I don't follow anybody. So, I'm sure there will be more maps coming out with it. And once the documentation is written, I'm sure there will be other maps that will be updated to add it. But I still think it's a very niche thing. And those that enjoy it, those that want it, are very want it very much. Then others that aren't as interested in it, right, could care less. Less about it. They're probably less opinionated on it because, yeah, it doesn't matter to them if it's only available on 4, 8, 12 maps. Oh, so Valley Spring is already out. Okay, so it's not the map I was thinking about, 19. Oh, Midwest Farmer. Well, he's playing with Terra Life Plus. Because Eiffel is one of the maps that came out last weekend with it built in. I did kind of wonder. I don't have the map or any of those mods anymore. But I did kind of wonder, what happens? What happens if you just go in the XML and disable the requirement? Like, how bad does that end up breaking the map? Oh, there's our green bean. Oh, this was a contract trailer. Clearly they did not think about the difficulty in actually maneuvering around here. I'll just pick this up and walk it around. There. Yeah, if you are interested in playing on it, definitely join the Maze Plus Discord. That way, you can stay abreast of any updates that they're doing to it, any known mod conflicts or other things. Yep, Eiffel was brand new. Let me pull that up. So the Eiffel was new, and Holtz was new. Palagny, whatever. Yeah, however you say that one. And somewhere in Thuringia 3, these have already been out. Just are now Terra Life Plus variants. This one was my personal favorite of the maps released last week. I just thought visually it was stunning. And if it didn't require Terralife Plus, I'd probably be playing on it. And then the Eiffel, which is a Germany border between Belgium and Luxembourg. Near the Nuremberg Ring. Right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All but Paligny. We'll just call it Paligny because it's wrong. But that's all I'm gonna be able to say. All but that one required substantial required mods. They don't come anywhere as close to the amount of disk space that Nebraska Lands requires, but they still had like a 2.5 gig mod list once you added the map, all the Terralife Plus mods, as well as all of the other required mods. I'm looking forward to seeing the East Asian map. We gotta wait, I think 3 weeks. 3 weeks until September 26th or 29th or something. 1, 2, 3, exactly 3 weeks till the Tokyo Game Show. QSIM, is that anywhere as close to right? I understand. Meta, you mean play get started again, or get started period, right? I never think some of the motivations to get started brand new would be to familiarize yourself with the general gameplay and things ahead of the new game release, if you were thinking about the new game release. But as it is with any sandbox, like open world game, sometimes getting started is the hardest part. I played Transport Fever 2. Now it came out a few years ago at this point, but I really liked Transport Fever. I liked the idea of it. And when Transport Fever 2 came out, I got it. I worked through the tutorial, the career, basically, and I was really enjoying it. And I understood the concepts, I understood the gameplay, and then I went to start my own open world map, and just completely, I couldn't figure it. Not that I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know where to start. It was like a blank canvas. Where do I start? What do I draw a picture of? And I didn't know. And then I forced myself, all right, let's start here. Let's try to do this. False start, terrible start, right? Let's start back over. And I did that 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and I'm like, I don't know. I did great when I was prompted. Okay, now do this. I can achieve goals. Now do that. I can achieve goals. But it was left, here's a giant open map with a ton of cities, and now satisfy all their needs. I was left not knowing where to even get started. Well, thank you. Thank you. I have a horrible time pronouncing things that are not basic American English. Let's just say that. So I would say that is a rarity, and thank you very much. But yeah, if you have FS22 and you haven't really played it a lot, my motivation, if I were in your shoes and I was interested in 25, would be to play 22 for the purpose of getting my feet wet, getting a good idea of how I want to play, or how you could play, various things you could do, how to do various things. Now, while 25 will be different than 22, it's going to be additive more than completely different. So if you understand the basics of gameplay in 22, you'll understand the basics gameplay in 25, and then there will be some more things added to 25, like ground deformation and the weather and some new crops and new ways to harvest and new ways to plant, possibly new ways to construct things with buildable houses. And it sounds like they keep talking about talking to NPCs. It sounds like we're going to be talking to NPCs in game, possibly to learn more or to interact with them, like down at the animal dealer. It sounds like we might be talking to NPCs to get missions. Maybe we don't go to a contract menu like this and just pick and say, oh, I want to do this contract. Except maybe we have to go find Heidi Meyer, and we have to find her, and then we have to go talk to her, and we have to say, Heidi, I'm interested in doing some work for you. Would you happen to have any jobs for me to do? And then Heidi would be, well, you know, actually, yeah, I got a field over here. It's full of red beets, and I'm not going to have any chance to get it to it. I'll pay you $26,000 if you harvest it for me, and then take it down there and drop it off. That sounds cool. How is that going to work on mod maps? Are map authors going to have to program in dialogue? Is there some sort of text-to-speech generator going to be in the game? So it's going to take written dialogue and just speak it out? I hope to God it is not Reading Simulator where I have to read text. I absolutely hate reading text. Walls of text. No. At work, people be sending me an email. It's like 7 pages long. They're like, did you read it? I'm like, no. It's too long. I'm not going to sit there for an hour and a half reading a message. So, I hope it's not a wall of text, because I'm going to be annoyed with having to read a wall of text, because I'm a slow reader and I won't read it. I will just get the gist and say, okay, and I'll come up with my own belief as to what it really says. But the ability to interact with NPC characters That's additive to 25. So for example, in FS19, they added weeds to the game. But that was about it. In FS22, right, we added herbicide, we added weeders. We had weeders in 19. They added stones. They added rolling of fields to get little bonuses. Right, we got some new crops in olives and grapes and all of that interaction. But planting corn, harvesting corn, growing corn, it was mostly the same. But they did add the seasonal cycles, right? Fall, winter, and all of that. And as such, our interactions with our crops changed a little bit. We couldn't plant corn anytime we wanted. And we couldn't harvest corn after we slept one night. We had to sleep several nights. But overall, the basics of plant, fertilize, care for your crop, harvest it, and repeat were the same. They did, yes, they did, Eric. That was also added in 22. Well, see, Will, we have... Let me get to this. I'm just trying to find an image or two. R3, it's not in that presentation. It was in this presentation. So these are images sent to us from Giants as part of their FarmCon presentations. Anyone that's watched FarmCon presentations knows that this guy was never shown. This guy was never shown in the game engine presentation. Okay? We have eyebrows moving here. We have his mouth opening. We have his eyes closing. So we get the sense that this guy is talking. Right? Is this a player character? Is this multiplayer? And is this another player that's talking? And how is his mouth moving? Is this an NPC that we're interacting with here? And this, I believe, this is a collectible. I believe we're going to collect little hats or maybe little paper boats. Oh, right. I can't wait to see this for real. The night sky with stars and an actual moon. Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. All right, we're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to have to... We're going to have to buck our... We're going to have to buck our contract. Right, but I'm talking about contracts on mod maps, right? Like if we get mod maps, if we get talked, because in the map discussion, the guy that was leading the map discussion, well, he dropped a few hints that you're gonna want to talk to the carpenter guy, and he's gonna give you missions, and there's been some other hints about talking to people and such. So much that it makes you wonder what all is involved. What's up, daughter? I heard you overbooked yourself today. You had a little busy day. Class, lab, practicum, stargazing is still to be done. That'll teach you. There. Now the rain's gone. What's up, Delilah? You know what? That reminds me. This video is brought to you by Metallic Fox and Backbone. Thank you for being farm barons. I could have forgotten again if it wasn't for Delilah showing up. Are you looking at all the planets aligned tonight? Is that tonight? I think it's recently or coming up. Football, college football, high school football, pro football. I don't watch football anymore. I stopped watching football when the players decided that they couldn't stand for the flag that they live in, so I decided I couldn't stand to watch them. Pretty straightforward. If you don't like the country you live in, move out. You're just looking up. Well, let's see how long it takes before somebody starts screaming that the sky is falling. And then someone else goes, "You're no Chicken Little." I mean, I was in the band in high school, so right, we went to all the football games. And then college, you know, we went to the college games, but the team off was awful. We basically said if our team scored, then it was a win. So if our team scored, it was a win, regardless of how many other points the other team scored. That's how bad they were. And then if I were to pick a college team, it would be Notre Dame. I like the helmets. I just like Notre Dame. But I haven't watched college football in probably 15 years. There for a little while when I had a DVR system at the house. I tried to record all the bowl games and watch all the bowl games. That took a lot of time. And then for a long time we watched football. Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Sunday Football. But I just got out of it. Used to watch all the racings. Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, Sprint Series, F1, whenever I could, the V8 supercars, various GT racing. Rally every so often, but we really didn't have too much rally being broadcast. Those guys are insane. Rally drivers are insane. So do you have two setups, Chad, or do you just basically take it with you when you go? I think I saw some videos about it. You kind of point the satellite close, and then it like auto homes in. Mo's 38. How you doing? You better be going to your lab. You got 10 minutes. You don't need to be late. Is it still where it's like a $500 equipment deposit? Now, if they had Starlink that you could do for hotel travel. I'm fine here at the house, but man, if I have to bear the burden of hotel Wi-Fi, oh, that's painful. You better get going. 9 minutes. Did you eat the crab cakes? I had crab cakes at lunch today. I wasn't touching them. It's like gas station sushi. Nope. Not gonna do it. I like what Starlink is trying to do. You know, the biggest problem we have here in the States is that last mile broadband. We're lucky here. I've got nice, steady, constant, reliable 1 gig fiber. 1 gig down, 1 gig up. And it's absolutely fabulous. Very, very rock steady. But that is few and far between. In fact, I've got some folks at work folks at work that want internet from the same provider I have, but literally live one block too far away. Their backdoor neighbor gets it, but they don't because they're one block too far removed. All right, that's this contract done. Now we gotta go see Maria Zumbrun. Maria Zumbrun. What does she want? Yeah, well, I used to live out in the sticks. When I grew up, right? 20-minute drive into town to get to a grocery store. Now, you all out in the Midwest, it might be 20 minutes to see your neighbor versus 20-minute drive to town, but for us, it was a 20-minute drive to a small town where there was a grocery store, maybe 2 grocery stores early on. But as I grew up, got to high school and things, it expanded quite a bit. But if you wanted to go anywhere to actually go really shopping, it was more like a 40-minute drive to get anywhere halfway decent. Nowadays, you want to go to the store, it's 3 minutes. I can be in the store in less than 3 minutes. Oh, we forgot something? Alright, I can be in the store and be back in 15. Yeah, Sherry, it's like, yeah, growing up there was no delivery. There was no pizza delivery. There was no food delivery. It's like, if you wanted something, you gotta go pick it up. But by the time you go and pick it up and you get it home, it's cold. Now, Chad, the question is, do the cows ever get into the tobacco? I mean, you see cows chewing an awful lot. Who's to say they didn't get into the tobacco? Well, if you've got a Dollar General, you've made it. You are modern civilization. I was driving through Tennessee one year, and I swear there was a Dollar General every exit. And then I think I learned that Dollar General was based in Tennessee, and then that made sense. I mean, just take any store, add the word dollar to it, right? We got Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar Store. There's probably 3 more. I think I went into my first dollar store, Dollar General, right? I think I went in my first Dollar General and I was like, there ain't anything in here for $1. Because I was used to going to the Dollar Tree, and the Dollar Tree, like, everything is $1. Or like $2 or something. Now you can barely get a can of Coke for $1. When did 12 pack of 12-ounce Cokes become like $9? Was it like literally overnight? Yeah, remember when you get a 2-liter for 99 cents? It's not been that long ago. Where the heck is my truck? Over here. Or you thought a good deal was four 12 packs for $10, $2.50 a piece. Well, that's cheap. Well, ours is more like $9. I don't know who decided to bring a semi through town here. It's gotta be the worst idea ever. Well, I'm glad I never got into that nasty stuff. No coffee for me, it's disgusting. We moved to, here's a funny story. Here's a funny story. We moved into our renovated office space at work 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And I was setting it all up. And an email went out to everybody basically saying, yeah, the office is set up. Right? Come to work at the new office, yada yada yada. Then it was like, you know, we got the coffee, the microwave, the fridge all set up, and I said, I don't know where the coffee maker is. I didn't set that up because coffee's not a thing that I really care about. So they figured out that we couldn't figure out where the coffee maker went. So they went and bought him one, and it lasted like a week, and then it broke. Like, the whole handle snapped off. They don't make nothing to last anymore. It's like, how did you snap the handle off? Well, Chad, look at it this way. Coffee is just a delivery vehicle for caffeine. I'm fine. I can drink plenty of caffeine. There's just other ways to deliver it. And coffee is just not one of them. That's all coffee is. It's a caffeine delivery vehicle. The most addicted drug in the world. You know, it's the caffeine that's telling you that. $8,000 hours. I have no idea, but I know I haven't clocked that many. The Giants version doesn't give me hour used. Oh, Splenda's. I can't. That's. Oh, no. So, so my parents, we go up there very, very infrequently because they live out in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, I don't know why they do this. They ruin perfectly fine things. They make Splenda tea. No, don't ever do that. It's bad. B-A-D. Bad. Don't ever do it. Why? Or they take perfectly good pancake mix and put zucchini in it. Why do you do it? It's just don't. Oh, no, please. Just, I want regular pancakes without the extra. Regular pancakes without the extra. That's all I can say. My grandfather used to use King syrup. It came in these giant tins. King syrup. Oh, it was the most disgusting syrup I've ever had in my life. Aunt Jemima was great, but you can't even get that anymore. No, they had to change the name because somehow that was bad. I went looking for it one day and I couldn't find it. I'm like, what's going on? And then it was this weird milling company bottle. It was in the same bottle, just had a different label on it. And I'm like, what is up with these impersonators? And then I saw a little picture at the bottom, you know, the same as Aunt Jemima. I'm like, oh, are you serious? Now in 22, in Farming Simulator 22, I had, or 19. Farming Simulator 19, I had 3,500 hours. And Farming Simulator 19, I had 3,600 hours on Steam. But no idea how many hours I have on 22. Chat, don't let Will fool you. He falls asleep and leaves GE up. He leaves the Giants editor up. He falls asleep. He's an old man, and old men just fall asleep, right? They're just sitting there in the chair, and the next thing you know, they're snoring. And that's Will at his mapping system. That's why it's taken so long to get Nebraska lands ready. He was talking about it being ready for testing around April, and then he fell asleep, and then he woke up, and it's suddenly we're testing it in September. So I think it's close. I think those following Nebraska lands testing, I think it's close. We're not doing Nebraska lands tonight because it is that close. It's down to just testing and confirming a few little things. All that can be done in single player. I did confirm all the collectibles are collectible. I did that last night. And some of them are in very, very interesting places. Let's just say you're going to have to look all around, including up. So, I think it's close. We'll see. One day I'll get a magic message in my Discord that here's the finished product. For me, what keeps me opening a farm sim up is just that it's a chill game. Right? You just get in, you just play, you just hang out, you just do whatever you want. There's no stress. There's no trying to find the enemy. There's no chance of being, you know, sniped or getting someone sitting at a spawn point and just shooting you or anything. There really isn't failure. Now with tornadoes, with twisters coming in 25, there will be the potential for a loss. Right? You really can't lose in 22. You plant crop, you harvest it. You're going to come out positive. The only way you can really lose is if you just spend too much money. With 25 and twisters, though, there will be crop loss. There will be damage. So you could, I guess, lose a significant portion of a field. So diversity, spreading your fields out, and hoping they're not all on the same path would be key and essential. From what I understand, you will be able to turn that off if you don't want to have the risk of weather effects. But I like the deformation. I like that concept, and you're going to hear more about that during various fact sheets. Is, you know, the weight of the vehicle, the weight of the implement, and what does that mean with respect to deformation? We saw that in the Gamescom gameplay. The same build was on PAX West. So that gameplay, for those creators that got out there, you could see that the heavy harvester was leaving some serious ruts, some serious divots in the field. The tractor with duals and the auger wagon that had wide tires left lesser deformations because they had, you know, the weight was spread out. Tracks left no deformation because that has the maximum contact patch to the ground. Therefore, it has the least pressure per square inch, to use American measurements, to the ground. It's why in areas where you get lots of snow, you got those snowshoes, which are just, you know, giant rackets that you put on your feet to really spread your weight out over a much larger area so you don't sink down into the snow. Same principle. Alright, go find a star and wish upon it, and hope no one screams about the skies falling. But if they do, just turn around and say, "You're no Chicken Little." And then when everyone laughs, you can say, "Yeah, my dad still has the best wit of all." I hope ground compaction becomes a thing. Will, I really do. I very, 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 very much enjoyed gameplay with compaction back when it was beta in FS17. That was back when you had to plow after every 3 harvests. No matter what. No matter what crop you did, after 3 harvests, you had to plow, or you didn't, you know, you didn't get your best yield. And realismists, those that brought us seasons. Real Logger was a part of the realismists. And I don't know where did he just vanish into obscurity? Maybe he moved on to other games, just life in general. But at any rate, he had developed the compaction mod. And literally, if you had duals, right, you would have less ground compaction than if you had singles. You could come in here and you could take air out of the tires, and you would see the tires deform because they had lower air pressure, and since they were deforming, they had a larger contact patch with the ground, and as such, they would compact the soil less. If the ground was wet, it would have greater compaction. So there was kind of a penalty for harvesting with wet ground. There was concept of ground moisture. And if you did field work with certain ground moisture levels, right, the soil would be more prone to compaction. If you did things right, you would have little to no compaction, and you could simply cultivate your fields. You never plow. You would never have to plow because you never actually compacted the soil if you did it right. If you had light compaction or medium compaction, then you could use a disc harrow to cut a little bit deeper into the soil than a standard cultivator and basically loosen up the soil to remove the compaction. If you had heavy compaction, then you'd have to plow in order to clean that up. I super loved that mod because it made you think. It's like, oh man, like I need to configure my tires, I need to take pressure out, I need to add pressure, I need to wait another day for the ground to dry up because I really don't want to plow. Well, in 19 it went away. It wasn't a thing in 19 because Giants changed the game from requiring plowing after 3 harvests to requiring plowing on root crops, potatoes, sugar beet, and corn only. So if you planted potatoes, sugar beet, or corn, you always had to plow or you would lose 10% of your yield. If you only ever planted, let's say, wheat, barley, and soybeans, you never had to plow because it just didn't require it. So the mechanic that the compaction mod used went away. So I'm hoping in 25 with our deformation, maybe we'll have some way of being able to do compaction. What about loggers? GTA 6? I don't know. I never did any of the GTAs. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. That comes out in February. I'm thinking about that a lot right now. Arkansas drops next week. Doesn't it? Let me look. Or is it 16th? 2 weeks. September 16th. So that is not next Monday, but the Monday after. I'm thinking we might do a special ATS convoy on the main channel on the 16th. I'm thinking about it. Oh my gosh, seriously, the new flight sim is the 19th? Oh, and then Farm Sim releases 12th? Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, I'm really interested in the new flight sim because of the career mode. Regular flight sim didn't interest me that much because it's too open world sandboxy. It takes me back to my Transport Fever comment, where you launch the game, you're like, where do you want to go today? I don't know. What do you want to fly in today? I don't know. Why don't you just tell me? And I'll do it. And I'll try to do it the best I can. And that's where 24 comes with its career path, right? Like you could say, I want to be a crop duster pilot. So you have a career path where you learn how to fly, I guess, little planes. You learn how to fly low. You learn how to fly crop dusting, and then as you go and I assume complete missions and skill up, you get money and maybe things unlock, and then eventually you get a license to be a crop duster, and then you can do whatever you want in open world, right? Then you're like, no, I want to be a rescue helicopter pilot. I want to rescue people with a helicopter, right? So that gives me, like, do this, go do that, here's the goals. Okay, I can do those, I can execute those, but then as soon as it's like, okay, you're all done, you know, do whatever you want, and then I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Why can't someone give me a mission? That's what's interesting, that I don't have that decision paralysis with Farm Sim so much. I may have initially back in 17, but at this point, right, I don't have decision paralysis. I kind of know what's going on, and more or less it's play your way, do whatever you want anyway, right? It's less indecisiveness, Sherry, and more or less most of the time I don't really care. Right, like the wife's like, what do you want to, where do you want to, what type of, you know, she doesn't want to cook today. Okay, well, what do you want to get? I don't know, just whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Well, do you want Chinese or Mexican more? Either. Does this require more salt? No, I think it's fine. Does this require more pepper? No, I think it's fine. Does this require any other seasoning? Why even asking? Because I'm going to tell you it's fine. Right? So what's your favorite food? I don't know. I don't know. If this was your last meal on Earth, what would you want? I don't know. What are my choices? Anything you want. What are my choices? Can you narrow it down a little bit? Well, according to the wife, I'm impossible to shop for. Typically, it's because I just go out and get what I want, right? And I don't think, oh, I should save that for, you know, a holiday or something. It's like, why should I do that? Like about a month ago, I picked up a new car. And I'm not super keen on the interior seat color. It's like a light cream seat color. I don't want that. I want a darker color because it's just going to be all dirty and nasty all the time. So she's like, oh, well, you can get seat covers. I'm like, yeah, I could. So I looked up some seat covers. And she's like, you should wait. Right? Then your parents can get you that for Christmas. And I'm like, I would rather just get them now. So I'm not putting 3 or 4 months of dirt in the seats. All right. Yeah, I go to the same place. But at any rate. Tonight was what she calls fridge luck. Open the fridge and hope you're lucky and find something to eat. No, it's really just, you know, there's leftovers in the fridge. Go figure it out. So I usually just like, well, what's the oldest thing? I just eat whatever's the oldest. Well, yeah, like Sherry. So like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I said, okay, look, all right, I could use with some new work clothes, right? So I could use with some new pants, some new shirts, and stuff. So I was like, you know, a gift certificate to I'm trying to remember. There's two. This is my problem. I have dementia. So there are, there's LL Bean, right? And then, what's the other one that has L's in it? I mean, that's a pretty stupid question to ask. But there's LL Bean, and then there's something else that has L's in it that's like a mail order place too. And I can't think of it right now. Land's End. Yes, we'll call that. We'll say it's that. It probably is. Right? So, I used to like Eddie Bauer a lot. I still like Eddie Bauer to some degree. But they've changed their style a little bit on their pants, so they don't work so well anymore. But at any rate, let's say I told her, yeah, like LL Bean, just give me a gift card to LL Bean. That's fine. Well, Christmas comes and here's the gift card, but it's for Land's End. And I don't pick up right away. That's the wrong company. Because what's in a name? That's my mentality. What's in a name? Whatever. So I go to order, let's say sometime in early January. And I put all the stuff in my cart. I'm ready to go. It's a good sale. And I plug in the gift card code and it says invalid code. What? So I plug in again, invalid code. What? How is this not working? And then after 10 minutes, I realize, oh, this is for a completely different company. And then I realized what happened. Like, she forgot the name of the company. Was looking at the wall of gift cards at the store and said, oh yeah, that one sounds right. And bought the other one. Because she probably remembered something with an L, right? Land's End, LL Bean. They're the same, right? No, but kind of. See, so when you let other people get things for you, you run the risk of it just being wrong. Right? That's all I gotta say. There's a risk there. If you just go and get it, then the risk is limited. But it's okay. It didn't go to waste. I think I bought a bunch of shirts. They're nice. They work out. Well, Sherry, I think I told a story about when I went car shopping. Not the most recent time, but like 8 or 9 years ago. It was the end of the calendar year. I had to go car shopping because I slid into the back of somebody. The roads were wet. It was cold. And the airbags went off. Bang. And that's it. When a 10-year-old car, airbags go off, it's total. So I went car shopping, and I told the dealer, I told the people, everywhere I went, I told them the same thing. I said, I have some very, very basic requirements. One, it has to be 4 doors. At the time I had, my youngest was in a car seat. I need 4 doors. 2, it's not a 4. 3, it should be fairly low mileage. And 4, it should be fairly modern year. Fairly recent model year. So show me those. What color do you want? All right, listen. If you didn't hear my requirements, 1, 4 doors. 2, not a 4. 3, low mileage. 4, fairly recent model year. What do you got? Do you want like a sound package? All right, are you not hearing me? Yeah, so I walked away from a couple people. Like, look, told you what I'm looking for. Show me what I'm looking for. I'll know what I want when I see it. Or I'll say, what do you got in this price range? I'm only going to pay this much a month. Make it happen. So the previous car I had, we were walking around and like, well, what do you think? What do you think, a Mazda? You think a Nissan? Or are you thinking compact? I'm like, just show me what I want. And I found this one car. It didn't have a sticker on it. And I'm like, what's this one? They're like, it's fairly new. I think we just put it out. Let me go look it up. And it had like 5,000 miles on it. And it was a 2013. And it was 2014 when I was buying it, let's say. So it's fairly recent. And it was a decent price. Bang. We'd walk away with it. Right? But it's like, look. Show me what I want. The kid's gone now, but when we went looking for her recent car, I don't know, we walked away from probably half dozen dealers. And she's like, why are you walking away? I'm like, they're not showing me what I want. They're showing me what they want to sell me. I'm not interested in what they want to sell me. I'm interested in what I want to buy. Is it the newer? The new Broncos? I think the new Broncos, they look in the newer style. I think they look good, but again, I'm not going to drive a Ford. It's just no, we're not doing that. What's the defective motor? What's going on with it? Yeah, plus I was trying to teach her that, you know, in this interaction, you have all the power. Because you don't have to buy from them. Right? You've got all the power. You feel like they're trying to pull power away from you, you just walk out. Nope, we're done. No, thanks. Thanks, yeah. Yeah, we're just going to go across the street, check them out. Ah, so like the new Bronco 2s from way back then. My grandfather had an old Bronco. It had a heavy ass tailgate that folded down because the window went down into the tailgate. You know, it had the rear tire that would wing out of the way on the back. It was like two-tone. It had that textured hard top. It was a straight 6 stick shift. This was probably late 80s. Mid 80s, late 80s. He also had an International Scout, but that stopped working when I was fairly young. So I don't remember too much about it other than the fact it was an International Scout and it was yellow and white. That's why I'm really excited about Farm Sim 25's announcement that they're going to have the International TranStar in FS25. Hopefully we'll see other international branded trucks like a Scout for a nice little, you know, farm truck. Beat 'em up truck, get around town, toss some crates of stuff in the back and everything. We had an international straight grain truck. I have no idea what model it was. I just know it was international. It was a grain truck. It had heavy wooden sides to the bed, and if you took all the sides off, it was obviously a flatbed. You put the sides on and the back on, the tailgate, and had chains in the middle, you know, to keep the wood from spreading, and it's what we used to haul grain. Well, we would take the back off. The back was in 3 sections. The center, big, large tailgate section, and then 2 little side strips on the back. We took that off, and then we used it to haul hay during the summer with the sides on it still. I'll know it if I ever see it, but I have no clue what the model was. I think we had a Ford grain truck too, but that thing had 0 brakes. Like, step on the brake pedal and you had no resistance, it just went straight to the floor. And I really don't know why they never fixed the brakes. Just for years. It was just, it had no brakes. It just sat in the barn. On a very, very, very rare occasion would it ever pull out And would they do anything with it? Yes. We haven't seen anything about the dirt bikes other than the reveal trailer. There's so much Jones could show off over the next 9 weeks. I wonder what blog post we'll get next week. If we will get a blog post on the greenhouses. Maybe we'll get a blog post on the little farm stands because of the Twitter post. I'd like to get a blog post on the new crops. Regular rice, long grain rice, spinach, peas, and green beans. We haven't gotten really a blog post on goats. Buildable buildings. Swathing. Lots of stuff. What's up, David? How you doing? Yeah, Chad, like I said, I don't really know why they never repaired the brakes. Because there's plenty of times where we could have benefited from having 2 trucks. I mean, I can't fathom that the brakes would have been impossible to fix. We're definitely getting fact sheets tomorrow. That is definitely happening. We're pretty much going to have fact sheets every Friday between now and the week before November 12th. So was that like November 9th? Maybe? Now, what's in those fact sheets, I cannot tell you. At least not today. Sorry. But I know you can come back tomorrow morning, find out. I think there'll be some folks who'll be interested in them for sure. There was an interesting revelation I had when I was looking over them. Some of my guesses from previous videos were confirmed. Well, I mean, that is kind of like when they launch, right? Are you 12 hours ahead? Is it 9:47? Because I feel like Australia in general is between 12 and 15 hours ahead. I might be wrong. I feel like depending if you're on the west or east side, you're either 12 or 12 or more hours ahead. Which means you're exactly on the opposite side of the planet. Right? Do you not observe daylight saving time? And I have to say, I am looking forward to the prospect of meeting you next February, if the trip to the States does work out around the same time frame of the National Farm Machine Show in Louisville, Kentucky. Three to 5. What the heck? How do you know when to call anyone? I feel a little sorry for the West Coast folks here in the States because the East Coast is so densely populated that pretty much everyone, regardless of where you are in the country, everyone has to have business hours starting at 8 a.m. East Coast. So, right, West Coast time, there's got to be call centers got to open at 5 a.m. Places need to be in at 5 a.m. for us East Coasters that show up at 8. And then they got to stay open until, you know, closing time, West Coast time. Whereas I don't think anybody really that's headquartered on the East Coast is super concerned about West Coast times. Now I've told a story before. I've had to interact a long time ago, early in my career, working with a company in Hawaii. And this was late 90s, okay? So the internet was a thing, but it wasn't like it is now. And this company we worked with in Hawaii, like, they were fairly small. So I had like 2 hours. I had a 2-hour window from like 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon that I could call this company in Hawaii and actually interact with their tech support. Because when it was 3 o'clock here, it was like 9 a.m. their time. And if you couldn't get a hold of them, well, you had to bump it the whole day, right? The next day, I got to wait till 3 o'clock, call them again, and keep calling, trying to hope you get them in that 2-hour window. We'll do the tractor pull. We'll figure it out. I've gone to the farm show 2 other years. Last 2 years, I haven't done the tractor pull though. But I know it's big, and I'm pretty sure it's like every night. With like the finals being maybe Saturday during the day, maybe Friday night. Ask Jeeves, yes. Oddly enough, that came up the other day. Got some younger folks at work, and they didn't think it was Ask Jeeves. They thought it was Ask Jeeves with a B as opposed to a V. I'm like, no, it's Jeeves, like as in a butler. And he was like, oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. And it was like, you know, a real nice search engine for people that didn't understand how to use search terms, because you could just ask it a sentence. You could say, how many hours is Sydney, Australia from here? Or from, you know, and then you list the town. And Jeeves would give you an answer. Whereas every other search engine at the time would be like, let me find all the references for how many hours, you know, and all this other stuff. So it wasn't like logical. It was just you feed it search terms and then it would give you results. But Jeeves was more of a easier to grasp search engine where you just fed it some words. Ask it a simple question. You'll have to ask him if he plans on trying to make it up. He might tell you that it's too early to know, but last year he made it up for a couple of days. It's just a couple hour drive for him. It's like a 6 or 7 hour drive for me, so it's not too bad. Drive for 3 or 4 hours, stop, have lunch. Drive some more. But I have a feeling that next year will be really a nice, interesting year to be there. David, they might let you up in the CR11. Is it CR11? Is that the New Holland number? I know the case is AF11, I think. Uh-oh, we're almost done. We're almost done streaming too. Just say that I think it's going to be an exciting time at the farm show next year. If you got the collector's edition, you're going to get the gold. The gold paint scheme. And yeah, I haven't forgotten our deal. If Giants ships me a collector's edition, I'll sell you mine. I definitely have a collector's edition coming from Amazon. A little pitch. Anyone wanting to buy their own collector's edition that might be here in the States, you can do so by using an Amazon link that is in the description, or exclamation FS22CE. No, FS25CE. That should maybe put a link up in chat. And from there, you can buy the physical copy of Collector's Edition, or a standard PC physical copy, or an Xbox XS or PlayStation 5 physical copy from Amazon.com. Should you be so inclined at any point in time to want to pre-order Farm Sim 25 from the Giants eShop and be playing on PC, then we also have an affiliate code down in the description for the Giants eShop. That is where I do get a little bit of a kickback from the purchase of those, and also will help us move towards becoming a gold partner. Quite a long way to go, but it is hopefully obtainable at some point, and is likely going to be one of the fastest ways of getting Farm Sim 25 when it releases on November 12th, because typically it will be available at midnight CET, or I guess at that point in time it will be CEST, Central European Standard Time. Honestly, I don't remember. Are we in CEST now, or are we just in CET? At any rate, whichever one we're in now, it'll be the opposite. For me, that means it's going to be Monday at 6 p.m. for those here on the East Coast when it will release. Rabbit Rob with the F in his name. Indeed, it is Bergmann time again. You've made it just towards the end. I've heard you've been playing My Little Pony Simulator. What's up with that? Why are you not wrecking with the boys on Friday night? Or Sunday night? We feel abandoned. I mean, Schultz has to do Darlene's bidding now. Well, yes, you know, I'm glad you are admitting your faults. That's the first step in the program. And the key is, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying. Are we done yet? Are we earning money? Finally, making a little profit. All right, we'll knock this thing back. We'll collect our monies. We'll sign out for tonight. Tomorrow night, Friday Night Wreckfest over at the secondary channel, FK's Funhouse. Explanation, FK's Funhouse for the YouTube link to that. That is our second channel where we go and put other content. Sherry, I will be doing my bestest to be streaming Metropolis, or no, Memopolis? Something Mopolis. I'll be streaming that on Saturday. I can't fathom another massive mod drop like Paralife Plus will happen to completely ruin my weekend plans for a second week in a row. So we'll fire that up and do that also over at the second channel. Baldur's Gate 3 patch 7 dropped today. That patch added mod support amongst other things. If you have played Baldur's Gate 3 and maybe we're waiting for official mod support, now is your time, because official mod support is in addition. Maybe you've always thought, oh, what's this Baldur's Gate 3? I've heard lots of people talk about. Why is the FK's? Maybe no explanation, no comma s, no punctuation. I don't spell, so don't put punctuation in. Is the bot broken? No, the bot's fine. Let's try explanation funhouse. Let's try that way. Any rate, Larian Studios, the developer for Baldur's Gate 3, there's a Steam sale going on, 20% off BG3, and several percent off all their other titles that they have had over the years. So that might be worth a look if you've been waiting for it to come on sale. And with that, I do wish everyone a good night. Wish you a safe weekend. And hopefully I'll see you over at the secondary channel tomorrow night, Saturday for Memopolis, and Sunday night for Sunday Night Convo Night. FK's Funhouse, that's where we hang out on the weekends. Typically. Because we come here during the week. And during the week, well, that's where we work. This is our working channel. FK's Funhouse is our mess around and have fun channel. Keep an eye on this channel because, well, when Nebraska Lands is ready to release, I will be publishing an official proper map tour. And that's how you'll know that it is out and available. And until next time, oh, wait. Come back tomorrow morning. Some cool info. Farm Sim 25. Tomorrow morning, here on this channel. Don't be late. There, I'll close it out with that. So next time, happy farming.